All right, guys, let's get some NCAA basketball picks and props for Saturday, March 9th slate of games. Trey, let's take a look at the leaderboard. Have you start us off?
Gosh, it's so cold here in the Midwest, but I just decided to do some spring cleaning today. We swept the games and the player props, but just myself. I gave out Tulane minus 2.5 going up against Wichita State. Tulane, they ended up winning this game by 7 points. Their offense looked back and better than ever, almost hit triple digits. So the game just ended, but I'm 1-0.
Yeah, and I had the Rockets, the Toledo Rockets, minus 7.5 at home, going up against Kent State. Dominated them from the first tip, and Akron fell again as a 8-point favorite. So Toledo takes the MAC conference title, 4 consecutive wins for the Rockets, my favorite team in the MAC conference. So shout out Toledo for the win and for the MAC title. Trey, let's go to the player props. Have you start us off?
Another sweep here. Like I said, I gave out Nate Santos to go over 11.5 points going up against VCU. And he showed up early and often in this game. He cashed by halftime. Santos finished with 21 points. Kaplow.
Yeah, and I will not apologize for hitting this player prop with 4 seconds left in overtime. I had Max Shulga, VCU, to go over his 13.5 points. He hit a 3-point shot down by 5 points with 4 seconds left in overtime. Thank you, Max, for finally hitting a 3 and going over the total. Swept the board there. Trey, let's go to the group play. It would have been a sweep if I didn't give out the under because we both had VCU to cover the 7.5 points. To my defense, it was a 70-70 game at the overtime. So it was 139.5 for the under and over. So I would have missed the over by half a point. So I guess tough loss there, but not really because it was way over. So 1-1 day for me, 1-0 day for you. Let's go to the group play for tomorrow. Great game here. We've already talked about this game on the live. Kentucky going on the road to face off against Tennessee. Trey has changed my mind. I was going to take Tennessee minus the 9, but Trey gave a bunch of good points about Kentucky, and then I was looking at my phone, and I was like, well, Tennessee does have the SEC all wrapped up in a bundle. They might take a game off here. They're not probably going to be covering the 9 points. So I'm going to take Kentucky plus the 9 points and follow Trey's advice. Trey, I'll have you talk now.
Yeah, I do really like Kentucky in this game. They're actually my dog of the weekend. On our live show, we give out our favorite underdog that we think has a great chance to win on the money line. And Kentucky, they're currently 7.5, 9.5, 8.5, wherever you can find it, underdogs right now. And I believe that they have a great chance to win this game straight up because my best point that I gave the Bear that I think is the reason why Kentucky is going to win is because Tennessee there have had a gauntlet of the schedule, and this is the last game of that gauntlet. They've played against Auburn, they played against Alabama, they played against South Carolina, and now they're playing against Kentucky. Those are the top 4 teams in the SEC. So I expect Tennessee to come this game a little bit, ready for the regular season to be over, and Kentucky's going to bounce all over them. So I'm going to go with the Wildcats here to keep this game competitive, and I'm going to take them plus 9.
All right, we are sweeping with Kentucky with the 9 points. I think it's actually like 7.5 or 8 now, but we'll take whatever it comes out at. We'll take whatever it closes at as the play for the group play. Let's go over to our plays for tomorrow. Trey, have you start us off?
Yeah, guys, I'm going back to the small schools here. I'm going to be talking about Seattle going up against Tarleton State, and I'm very excited to watch this game. We're going to get a very entertaining game here. It marks the last game of the regular season for both teams. Seattle, they come this game with an 18-12 record. They're also 16-13 ATS, but the Redhawks, they are 4-8 on the road. And Tarleton State, they enter this game with a 22-8 record. They're also 17-9-1 ATS. And the Texans, they're 10-3 at home this year. So they've been covering Warriors, and they're dominant at home. And I expect the home team to win this game as well because it's a long ways from Seattle to Central Texas. Give me Tarleton State here, minus 2.5 in this game. I want to take them on the money line, but at the end of the day, I expect Tarleton State to win this game by 1.5 buckets, and the money line is just too juiced. And they've already beat Seattle in Seattle once this year. The Texans, they won that game by 5 points. And the reason why we're going to win this game is going to be on the backs of Tarleton State's offense. They're the number 1 tempo ranked team in college basketball, according to the KenPom. They're going to be able to control this game from the tip-off, and it's because they do not turn over the ball, and they turn over their opponents at a high rate. They're ranked in the top 40 in college basketball in forced turnovers per game. So we're going to get a lot of extra possessions in this game for Tarleton State, and that's going to be a crucial part to our cash. Lastly, we're back in the team with significantly more momentum. Seattle, they've lost 2 games in a row. Meanwhile, Tarleton State, they're 9-1 over their last 10 games. Sign me up for that. Give me the team that's looking to go into the conference tournament and win and make some March Madness happen. Give me Tarleton State here, minus 2.5 against Seattle.
Love it. Love the play there, Trey. For my play today, we're going to be looking at the Big 12 once again on a Saturday afternoon. I gave out Iowa State last Saturday. I'm going right back to them on this Saturday on the road, except they're -4 instead of -3.5. The play is going to be Iowa State -4 going up against Trey's Kansas State Wildcats. I really think Kansas can knock off Houston at home. I know it hasn't been done all season long, but if anyone was going to beat Houston at Houston, it's going to be Kansas. They did take the first game from them at home, Kansas did, and Houston will definitely give them their best shot. But Iowa State needs some help in order to get a share of that Big 12 title. Iowa State has to take care of business in this game going up against Kansas State, and I think they should be able to do that. Kansas State at home, they've been a very good team this season. They're 14-3 on their home floor, but they're not really playing for anything in this game. They avoid the bottom four in the Big 12 conference tournament when that time comes. So with this win here, it will give them some momentum going into that tournament, but they're really fighting for nothing here. The Cyclones, just like last week, they have to win this game in order to keep up with Houston if they want to share that Big 12 title. They went into UCF in their last game, battled extremely hard, and they won the game the last 4 minutes covering the spread. That was last Saturday on the road. I think I'm even more confident in this play than last play because of the way the last game ended for the Cyclones. They were down by 12 points against BYU at home, and the Cyclones, they're not a team that can get down by that many points and then make a comeback. They did it anyway, and they took that game by 5 points at home. They finished off the season perfect with a perfect record at home. They played a great second half of that game. They're going to bring that momentum into this game against Kansas State, and I don't think they're going to give Kansas State and that crowd a chance to stay in this game. Give me the Cyclones big here. They're going to take care of business and have a share of that Big 12 title when Kansas knocks off Houston. Give me the Cyclones -4 as the play. Trey, let's go to the props. Have you start us off?
Yeah, guys, I'm going to go to one of mine and Bear's favorite players last season. I'm going to go with Daniss Jenkins to go over 15.5 points going up against Georgetown. I really love this over for Jenkins in this game. We both really enjoyed watching his true freshman year at Iona last year, and he's had a great sophomore season at St. John's this year. And Jenkins, he's getting a fantastic matchup here versus the Hoyas. That's because Georgetown, they have one of the worst defenses in college basketball, and that's definitely going to rear its head throughout this game. And these two teams, they've already played once this year, and Jenkins, he scored 15 points in that road game. I have to expect him to score an extra bucket here in this game for us and cash the over with it being at home. And whenever we factor in that St. John's is almost 20-point favorites in this game, we must expect the point guard and leading scorer for St. John's to be able to turn it up in this one because Jenkins, he's shooting almost 42% from behind the arc at home this year. If he can get up some threes in this game, his points are going to be filling up pretty fast. Give me Daniss Jenkins to go over 15.5 points versus Georgetown. Let's go.
Yeah, Trey, I like the play there for you. For my player prop today, I'm going to be looking at KJ Adams of Kansas to go over his total points going up against Houston. This is actually going to be a double play. Can we allow that, Trey?
Yeah, I think that's allowed. I mean, as long as you're fading the KU players. Come on now.
No, this is going to be a double play in favor of KJ Adams. I'm going to take his over total assists. I'm just not sure if it's going to be offered. I'm going to take his total points and then his total assists if they both come out, but for sure his total points whenever they do come out. He's going up against the toughest defense in the nation, and Houston is so good defensively because Sampson has brought in players who buy into the system of playing great defense for 40 minutes. He has 5 to 7 players every single game who can play a man-to-man, and they will rarely be beaten a man-to-man defense. If they do play man-to-man, which they probably will in this game, they're the best team in the nation with help defense as well because they always stunt the gaps. It's almost like a fake to think there's help coming whenever the offensive player gains the step on the defense, and then that player just falls right back to their defender, and that leads to a ton of turnovers against some of these teams. I went back and watched Kansas play in the first game. Houston did that, but KJ Adams dominated that game in the middle of the paint. If Kansas gets the ball in the middle of the paint like they did in the last game to KJ Adams, he's going to have another great game in this one. KJ is in the first game was running around a ton. He almost looked like Stephen Curry out there, but instead of looking to score, he was looking for the next pass. Go back and watch Kansas in the first 10 minutes. The film is there. Houston did make some adjustments in the second half, but in the first 10 minutes of that game, KJ Adams, I think he had 4 assists, 6 points because of the passing he was doing. He can hit the 15 to 12 footer as well. He's got that in his bag. Houston's very good defensively, but I think Kansas gives them a run for their money in this game, and KJ Adams is the energy guy for this Kansas team. I like what I saw in the first game from KJ. I think he can duplicate that in this game. So I'm going to take a chance on him, KJ Adams, to go over his total points, probably going to come out at 9.5 or 10.5, and then his over assists as well. Probably going to get that at 3.5. So a double play for myself in this Kansas-Houston game. Trey, let's go with the graphic. Have you start us off?
Yeah, guys, I'm going to go with Tarleton State here, -2.5 going up against Seattle. They're the better team. They're at home. It's a long way from the West Coast down to the almost most southern point in the United States. So I love Tarleton State there. Also going with Daniss Jenkins, over 15.5 points versus Georgetown. The guy's a stud. He's just going to dominate and fill up the stat sheet here at home.
Yeah, and I'm going to take Iowa State -4.5. I think they're -4 now, but I'm fine with the -4.5 against Kansas State. They should blow them out. And then KJ Adams, over his total points. It says or assists. I'm going to take both if they both come out. So over his total points and over his total assists against the Houston Cougars. Guys, that's going to do it for the NCAA basketball plays and props for Saturday, March 9th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching. Super Bowl. We also have 12,000 subs coming right around the bend. We're at 10,200. We're going to give away 2 tickets to anybody to any game they want. NBA, NFL, college basketball. It doesn't matter. We can wait until the new season for NFL. Any game you want to go, whenever we get to 12K, we're going to have that giveaway coming up as well. Leaderboard. We had multiple questions this morning about how to become a member for the YouTube channel. Let's do that really quick tutorial. You're going to go to youtube.com. You're going to go to Bears Profit Plays. You're going to search it in. You're going to hit our thing. There's a join button right just to the right of subscribe. You can click that. There's 2 options. You have the Bear Pack for $4.99. That gives you access to YouTube member plays. And then you have the Bear Pack Gold for $7.99 a month. That gives you access to our member plays on YouTube. And it gives you a 1-month membership to our website, bearsprofitplays.com. So if you get the Bear Pack Gold, you save yourself $2 a month, a little bit cheaper if you want to do that. But that is the tutorial for anybody that needed it. We had multiple questions today through email about how to do it, and it wasn't working. But if you want to know, there it is right there. Trey,